Okay guys, go ahead and give us a thumbs up or comment if you can see us. Okay, it looks like we are live on YouTube and Facebook. If you can see this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up or leave me a comment. That way I know that it's showing up for everyone. Okay, Lindsay, can you pull that up?
Yep, I'm doing
Okay, let me know you guys as soon as you can see this video and we'll get started. It looks like it's taking just a minute to connect. Okay, we have some people popping in. Yay! Okay, if you're just popping in, we are making some face masks tonight. I promised this video to so many of you. This is a no-sew face mask. Now, today you might have seen the CDC reversed its policy and it said that now they're recommending that anyone going in public be wearing a cloth face mask. So anytime that you're grocery shopping, anytime you're out in public, walking to work, anytime that you are going to be within 6 feet of another person, you should have a cloth face mask on. So this is exciting that things are changing and we're seeing this reversal, but one thing that I'm a little bit worried about is we don't want to see a big run on medical supplies. So what I'm doing is promoting the idea of making your own face mask and then saving our medical supplies for the people that are on the front lines, like our doctors and our nurses, because they really need to have access to those supplies. So go ahead and give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment if you can see this video. Let me know, where are you tuning in from tonight? Have you guys already been sewing masks? Have you wanted to make a mask? This one I'm super excited about because you do not have to have a sewing machine. And look how pretty it looks. This is all glue. Can you believe that? It's crazy. Okay, Lindsay is here with me as well, so she's reading all of our comments. If you have a question at any point, just leave a comment for me and I will answer that as quickly as I can. So anything at all. It looks like lots of people tuning in from Texas. Yay. San Diego. So fun. Okay, fun. Okay, step number 1. So first I want to talk a little bit about glue. There's a few different options that you could use. So number 1, fabric tack. This is something you can find at Joann, really at any craft store. You're going to be able to find it. This is a great adhesive. It's permanent. It bonds, it really strong bond, and it's somewhat flexible, so it's not really stiff, which is nice. The other option is a hot glue gun. This is a glue stick that is made specifically for fabric, which is nice because, whoop, did you see that? Because it has a little bit more flexibility than a normal glue stick, and it's also better at sticking to fabric. So this is what it looks like. It's from Surebonder and it's called Fabri Stick. You can find it in craft stores. You can order it online on Amazon. The last option is Fabric Fuse. This is from ThermaWeb. I found this at Joann. All 3 of these options are great. They all work really well. And as we're doing this tutorial tonight, I'm just going to kind of walk you through the differences in each one and let you know kind of my preferences on which one I would use. Do we have any questions?
Would heat and bond work?
What?
Would heat and bond work?
Heat and bond would work as well. That's a great question. I almost got that out. I have some sitting over on my table. Heat and bond would totally work as well.
And then how does it hold up for sanitizing?
Good question. I did want to cover that. So when you're washing these masks, do not throw them in the dryer. If you're throwing hot glue in the dryer, it's going to melt again and it's just going to be a hot mess of glue. So what you want to do is rinse it in water and allow it to dry hanging up. And that's going to be your best bet. Let's see. Janet says she's been sewing my simple square masks. Wonderful. Let me know if you have sewn up my mask pattern. How many have you sewn? This is a fun way. If you don't know how to sew, then you can share this with your friends. You can make lots of masks this way. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh, I did want to mention, we're also doing some giveaways tonight. You guys always love the giveaways. So let's get started with a giveaway. We're gonna do a $50 gift card to Joann. What you need to do to enter is share, if you're on Facebook Live, share this Facebook Live with your friends. Let them know this is a no-sew mask tutorial. If you're on YouTube, just go ahead and comment below, and Facebook as well. Comment in the comments letting me know that you shared it. and that should work perfectly. Okay, step number 1, print off your pattern. This is what the pattern looks like. It is a free download that is available on sweetredpoppy.com. You're going to download this to your computer, close out of it, then reopen it and print it. It's going to be printed with no scaling, 100%. You want to make sure that you print off, let's see, it will print off on a larger piece of paper that has a 1 by 1 inch square. So you want to take a ruler, I always use my clear ruler, and you're going to measure the 1 by 1 inch square. What that does is it just tells you if it printed off accurately or not. You want to make sure that it was printed at the right proportions so that it fits your face. Do we have any questions I can answer?
Does it work with, hold on.
Okay, lots of shared. Thanks so much for sharing. You guys are the best. Awesome. Okay.
I can't find it. I'll find it.
Lindsay's gonna look at questions, so if you have any questions at all, drop them in the comments. My husband is also on the other computer, and he's going to be dropping links to supplies.
What's the best fabric to use?
Best fabric to use. I'm using 100% cotton. This is a quilting cotton. You can find it at any fabric store. You can get it on Amazon. You can go to Joann. Really, any craft store is going to have some type of quilting cotton. If you don't have quilting cotton and maybe you don't have a budget to buy it, or you want to make it right now, what you can do in place of quilting cotton is you can use an old bed sheet. You can cut that up. You can use a t-shirt. So I have a t-shirt here. You can also use, let's see.
Can you use flannel?
You could use flannel. My only worry about flannel would be that it might be a little bit hard to breathe in. So the plus side of using 100% cotton is that you can breathe through it. And my worry is if you're using something that's more on the synthetic side, it's harder to breathe through. And I feel like you're probably not going to actually wear your mask if it's hard to breathe through.
You have to wash the fabric before sewing it.
Definitely wash your fabric before you sew it. That's for a few different reasons. You want to wash your fabric before you sew because it will help to size your fabric. So fabric shrinks in the wash and in the dryer. I think we've all gone to the store, bought a shirt, washed and dried it, and suddenly it's a different size. Well, the same thing is going to happen with quilting fabric. On a smaller scale, it still happens though. The other reason is sometimes it has chemicals or it's just dirty.
You need to layer fabric.
We are going to have 2 layers of fabric. Yes. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's any other ones I'm missing. Oh, also, if you have a Cricut maker, this is a good question. If you have a Cricut maker, yes, I do have an SVG file for this. If you head to the blog post linked, it will take you to the SVG file download.
And then what kind of filter goes into them?
Okay, filter is up to you. You can use whatever you want. Things that I have heard, not necessarily things that I'm promoting because I'm not a medical expert. Things I've heard. Some people are using, so usually people are looking for something that's non-woven. So it could be a dried baby wipe. It could be a coffee filter. It could be a sheet of interfacing. Some people are cutting up HEPA vacuum bags and putting a layer of that inside. Really, it's up to you. Do your own research on the filter and you can decide on what you feel comfortable with. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into this. Reminder, if you're just tuning in, we are making face masks tonight. No-sew face masks. There's also a giveaway going on for a $50 Joann gift card if you share this video and then comment.
Do you have advice for making adjustments for smaller masks?
If you want a smaller mask, there's a pattern coming soon. I'm thinking it will be up by tomorrow, a child size one, so just stay tuned for that. Okay, I have cut out my fabric already. So what you want to do is make sure that you have 2 mirrored images. This is going to be the front of your mask. And then you'll want 2 mirrored images for the lining of your mask. The reason that I cut out different colors of fabric is because when you're wearing your mask, the outside of your mask is exposed to germs and the inside should be kept clean. So when you're taking your mask off, you want to make sure that you know which side is the outside, which side was exposed to any germs. That way you're not putting it the wrong way back towards your face and exposing yourself.
Does this mask have a filter pocket?
This mask, you can add a filter pocket to it. It's pretty easy just to leave an opening. So when you're sewing or when you're gluing it, you would just leave a little opening along here, and then you can slide a filter in.
People want to know where to get the pattern.
The pattern is available on sweetredpoppy.com. I think it's the second post that pops up. Also, if you're on Facebook, there's something new called stars. So if you have access to stars, go ahead and give me some stars if you're enjoying this video. Okay, it's time to get started. Lots and lots of questions, but I'm excited to show you guys how to do this. So first off, I'm going to start off with my glue gun with my fabric glue sticks. Let's see if I can not drop them all this time. This is what it looks like. It's called Fabric Stick. It's from Surebonder. You can find it on Amazon. You can find it at craft stores. Just do a quick search for it. So what I'm going to do is draw a line of this fabric glue. And I like to draw my line about probably 1/4 of an inch away from the edge of the fabric. You don't want it on the very edge of the fabric, because when you go to press this together, you want to have a little bit of extra room for it to be pressed into. If it's right on the edge, then it'll just squeeze right out of your fabric and it just creates a mess. Okay, so what I did was I just pushed all of this together. And one thing I've noticed, I've been using this fabric glue a lot and trying to figure out kind of the best way to use it. What I've noticed is I have the best success. Let's bring over our ironing mat and ironing board. I have the best success when I go over it with an iron. So it dries pretty quickly. In the time that you are just drawing your line on your fabric, it might dry before you get your fabric on top, which is a little bit crazy. But what you can do to kind of reactivate that glue is just go over it with your iron. It only takes a few seconds. If you don't have an iron, if you're really like totally not into sewing and this is a new thing for you, you can use your flat iron, you can use your straightener and just run it along this edge. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna heat this back up, and what I'm looking for when I'm using this glue is I want to see the glue showing up on this side. And when you're looking at it, you'll be able to see how it's a little bit darker right along this line? That shows me that it's fully adhered on both sides.
People asking what kind of fabrics and fabric glue or hot glue?
The fabric glue looks like this. It's called Surebonder Fabric Stick. The other glue I'm going to use is Fabric Tech. So let me do the other one. Okay, really quickly, I'm going to answer questions while I piece these together. So go ahead and give me any questions.
Can everybody see? Ask if everyone can see what you're doing. Somebody said they can't see what you're doing.
If the comments are in your way, you might be able to slide them out of your way.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's an issue. I think everyone should be able to see what I'm doing.
Good.
If not, I can try to move.
Where'd you get your ironing board from?
My ironing board was from Walmart. It was like whopping $10. I love it. It's so portable.
People on YouTube are having trouble seeing what you're doing.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Can we point the camera at the table?
On the,
It's this one, right?
huh, I don't know. It looks like they can see everything, but yeah.
Yeah.
Let's point them down a little. Is that better? Okay, YouTube, can you see better with everything pointing down? Move things around a little. Okay, so I'm just putting this together with my glue. So I have 2 of them with my hot glue, and on the next ones I'm going to do the other glue. So what I like about the hot glue is that I can reheat it and I feel like I can really get it exactly where I want it. What I like about the Fabric Tech is it dries a little bit more. It's more flexible. It's not as hard or as thick as the fabric glue. The downside to the Fabric Tech is it takes a little bit longer to dry. So I'm just going to do the exact same thing. I'm drawing a line about 1/4 of an inch from the edge of the fabric, and I'm drawing this on the curved edge. So when you're looking at the pattern, this is the edge that I'm putting together. let's see, someone says they've made dozens of this pattern with a sewing machine and plan on doing it with a serger. That's a great idea. The serger makes everything go faster.
And someone wants to know, like, what kind of fabric are you using right now?
Right now I'm using 100% quilting cotton. This is what you can find at a craft store. It's on the big bolts. If you don't have access to this or you don't want to order it, what you can use that you probably have at home, you can cut up an old bed sheet. You can cut up, sorry, I have fuzzies flying. You can also cut up a dish towel. What was the other thing? A t-shirt. So you can definitely make these at home with things that you have on hand. It doesn't have to be the perfect supplies if you don't have access to those.
Where do I get the pattern?
The pattern is available on sweetredpoppy.com, and we are linking to that every few minutes. So look in the comments, should be able to find that link.
Are you gluing them together first on the front side or back side?
Oh, good question. So when we're sewing or even when we're gluing, we are always going to put right sides together. The right side is the prettier side, you can tell, because it's more vibrant. So you see this side's nice and pretty, so that's the side we're gonna put together and then glue it, and then that will reveal the pretty side in the next step.
Someone's out of elastic and bias tape. Are there any other suggestions for what you can use?
Yes, okay, bias tape, let me see. If you don't have bias tape, you can make your own bias tape. Here's some bias tape that I made with fabric that I had on hand. This is the same fabric that I'm using right now. I have a video tutorial on YouTube and Facebook right now that shows you how to make tons of bias tape. Bias tape is not the easiest thing to use. Oh, Lindsay, our battery is dying over one. Yeah. Sorry guys, if we're on YouTube, it's dying, but we're gonna plug back in. Another option for bias tape, if you don't have bias tape and you want to go the really easy cheater route, you can cut up a t-shirt. So this is an old t-shirt. It's stretchy, so it's nice because it has a little bit of give to it. Okay, I'm gonna pull this over and we're gonna switch over just to doing one mask now that I've shown both of our glue options. Okay, reminder, if you're just tuning in, first off, we are sewing up fabric masks. The free pattern is available on sweetredpoppy.com. Anyone can download this for free. Another thing, right now we have a giveaway going for a $50 gift card to Joanne so that you can get the supplies you need to make your masks. The way to enter is to share this video if you're on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and just leave a comment and give us a thumbs up. If you're on Facebook, after you share this video, let me know that you shared it in the comments. Let's do a drawing for that in 5 minutes. And let's see. Okay, so I am at the point right now, I have my face masks opened up and I'm ready to add in my straps. Now for straps, you could use a variety of different things. We talked about a few minutes ago. You could use bias tape, you could use elastic. So I have some thin elastic. Most stores right now are completely sold out of elastic. There was kind of a mad rush on elastic about a week or two ago. So that's a little hard to find right now. But the easiest way to do this, that is going to take you like just a few minutes, is just to cut up a t-shirt. And I think we all have a t-shirt that we could bear to part with. So I'm going to cut up, I'm just doing about a 1/2 inch. It doesn't have to be perfect. The nice thing about t-shirt or a knit fabric is that it's not going to fray. So you don't have to sew it closed. You don't have to worry about the same things that happen with your normal cotton fabric.
If you're washing it, like how long will it last?
If you're washing the knit?
The mask. Right?
The mask. Okay, if you're just tuning in, I want to remind you, when you're washing this, it's being washed in your washer and then being hung to dry. Do not put this in the dryer because if you're using the hot glue, if you're using this kind, it's going to melt because that's what's going to happen with hot glue, and I don't want you to have a big mess of glue in your dryer. When you're cutting these, you can do about 12 to 14 inches. Something to keep in mind is it's going to start about here and it's going to wrap around to the back. So make sure that you have enough that you can tie it in the back. Also, knit stretches, so it's going to be a little bit bigger than what you cut. Let's see, if you are looking for the CDC announcement, it is on the CDC's website. They announced it, I believe it was this afternoon. They announced that they announced a reversal on their previous policy. So their new statement basically says any person who is going in public should be wearing a cloth mask on their face. So anytime you're going grocery shopping, if you're going to the gas station, if you're going to work and you're within 6 feet of other people, you should be wearing a mask over your face. That's the recommendation. I know even in some cities, their mayors have put stricter guidelines on it that you have to wear one or there's a fine in place. You know, in the United States, it's not like that everywhere, but it is in some places. So something to keep in mind. What else? Let's see, you can find that CDC, I think it's .gov. You can look that up. I'll have Josh, will you link us to that new statement? It was just shared this afternoon, so that's brand new.
What size strips should you cut so they can fit around your ears instead of around your head?
Oh, if you wanted to go around your ears, I would just take some fabric and just kind of measure. Usually I say between 5 and 6 inches. It really depends on the shape of your face. This is something that I have to keep reminding people because I give a measurement and they're like, oh, that measurement didn't work. Everyone's faces are different. The width of your face is different. The profile of your face is different. So masks are going to fit you differently. Customize the size so that it fits your own face. So just hold it like this, figure out how long you want it to be, yank on it a little bit to get a good idea of how tight you want it to be, and then measure it. So I am going to do, let's see, I'm gonna do hot glue on this one. So I do a large bead of glue, about 3/8 of an inch from the top and 3/8 of an inch from the bottom. And then I just lay my little knit fabric over it. I like to have a little bit of an overlap where it's hanging off the edge. And I'm going to do this one as well. Okay, let me just show you that. So you should have a little space on either side of your tie. So push that down, make sure that it's fully adhered. You want it to really be secure because there will be some pressure placed on this tie as you're tying it around your head. Okay, who's ready for a giveaway? Give me some thumbs up. Give me some stars over on Facebook if you're ready for a giveaway, because I'm about ready for one. I'm gonna repeat this on the opposite side. Let's see. And I think start to finish, if you were doing this, if I were doing this without hosting a live video and answering questions, I could probably whip this out in about 7 to 10 minutes. It's not going to take very long, so you could easily make these for your family. Oops, and I want to overlap this just a little bit. Okay, can YouTube see okay?
Yeah, people are saying that they use hair ties.
Oh yes, a good option as well. You can use hair ties, so just a regular elastic that you would put around a ponytail. You can also use the ones that go all the way around your head. At the dollar store, you can find a bunch of them for just $1, which is a good deal. So you can look for that as well. Another thing I heard is that if you cut open a bungee cord, there's a ton of pieces of elastic inside of a bungee cord. So that's an option as well, if you happen to have one that you can part with. Keep in mind if you're using elastic, if you have a latex allergy, don't use elastic. That could cause some issues. Let's see, I think everyone's ready for a giveaway. I see lots of thumbs up, okay. Lindsay, I'm gonna have you choose someone on Facebook and on YouTube.
Okay.
Okay, you do need to be present to win, and you have to claim your prize. So if you hear your name, then you better comment and claim that prize. Okay, Lindsay's scrolling through, and she's gonna randomly select someone.
Okay. Should I just type their name in or say their name right now?
You can say it out loud to me.
Okay. Marceli Rivera Alvarez.
Marceli Rivera Alvarez is our winner on Facebook. So go ahead and claim your prize.
And then on YouTube we have, let's see, Yay.
On YouTube, our winner is
Nancy Diaz.
Nancy Diaz. I think Nancy just commented. Nancy, you just won, so comment again so you can claim that prize. Okay, right now I am putting some more glue on here, and I'm going to attach this side. You can do it in small bits because remember, it does dry out. Okay, along the bottom of your mask, so I like to do just either the left or the right side on the bottom, I'm going to leave an opening. And the reason we're leaving an opening is so that we can turn it right side out. So I'm going to draw a line of glue and then stop and leave about a 2 to 3 inch opening and then keep going with my glue. Remember, if your hot glue dries in the process of you gluing, that's okay. You can go back over it with your iron and just heat it back up. Okay, any other questions? Is there anything I can answer for you guys?
Are you using fabric glue right now?
Right now I'm using, it's called Fabric Sticks. It's from Surebonder. You can find it at any craft store.
And then what type of hot glue do you use?
And then the other glue that I was using is Fabri-Tac. And this is a permanent adhesive. It's going to take a little bit longer to dry, but what I like about this one is it's more flexible. And I feel like it bonds everything together a little bit better.
Can I cut this on my Cricut Explore Air 2?
You can cut this on a Cricut Maker. If you want to cut out the pattern on your Cricut Explore Air 2, you can. The other option on your Cricut Explore Air 2 would be to put some sort of a bonding on the back of your fabric, and then you could cut it out.
Will you post this video to watch later?
I will post this video to watch later. So if you can't stay with us the whole time, that's okay. It will be up after we're done. Okay, so I'm just going all the way around this mask with hot glue. I'm gonna lift this up so you guys can see what I just did. So it's the same process to use the hot glue or the fabric glue. Well, sorry, either glue that you're using.
And you can iron it even though you're gluing it?
Yes, so the hot glue that I'm using, you can go back over it with an iron. The reason that I like to do that, or that I recommend doing that, is because I feel like it secures the fabrics together a little bit more. Everything just gets stuck together. Okay, let's see.
What's the size of your cutting mat and brand?
The size of my cutting mat, that's a good question. The brand is Cricut. I put my measuring stick over here. I mean, it would tell me on the opposite side. Let's see, 24 inches by 12 or 13 inches, I think. It's from Cricut. You can find it. I think it's still on Cricut.com.
And can you use a regular Cricut?
Can you use
original Cricut?
The same would apply where you would need a backing to cut it. On the top, you can see I have 2 seams, and I like to offset them. So one goes to the left, one lays to the right. It's just going to have less bulk all in the same spot. Just kind of reduces all of that. Okay, so now I'm at the top, and I'm still using my fabric glue, hot glue.
The fabric sticks work in a regular glue gun?
Yes, this is a regular glue gun. You don't need a special glue gun. I think this was $4 or $5 at Joann, so pretty inexpensive. I think this pack of 18 glue sticks was $4. So this doesn't have to be an expensive project. Probably takes about half, maybe a full glue stick per mask. So you can get quite a few out of it. I'm gonna go over this, all of my seams with my iron, just to lock everything in place.
And then they want you to talk about washing it again.
Okay, let's talk about washing this. When it comes time to wash it, it's going to go in the washer, and then it's going to be hung up to dry. Please don't put it in the dryer if you're using hot glue, because it will all melt. It will not be fun.
Where should we leave the filter opening?
If you want to have a filter opening, I would have left just this little bit open. So I would leave about 2 to 3 inches. Let me show you the pattern so you see it's a little bit more clear. On the pattern, when you're gluing things together, you would leave from here to here open. And then that would allow you just to slide a little fabric inside. You could also do a layer of interfacing in here if you didn't want to have a liner that you had to remove and replace. That's another option as well.
Can you add wire for the nose piece?
You can add wire for the nose piece. In my tutorial, I have you sew it in. If you wanted, you could probably glue it in. Just glue it along here. It's possible it would come undone with the hot glue. I haven't tested it out, so I can't say for certain.
Can we use fat quarters?
Can use fat quarters. Yes, this is perfect for fat quarters. Definitely. Okay, so I'm checking all of my seams to make sure everything is glued together, that I didn't miss any spots. It's looking good. I'm gonna find my opening down here along the bottom, and I'm going to turn everything right side out.
How long are your bias strips for ties?
My bias strips are typically between 12 to 14 inches. Depends on, again, you can measure your own head. I would measure from about here to the back of your head where you want to tie it and have a little extra length to knot it.
And then someone said, can we see the alternating seams again?
Oh, yes. So I just offset my seams. This is what it looks like. You can see one is laying to the left, one is laying to the right. It just makes everything lay a little bit better because you do get some extra bulk when you're using the hot glue, more so than you would normally have if you were sewing it. Okay, you're just going to turn it right side out, pull your straps out. If you were using your fabric tack, I would let it sit overnight before I turned it right side out just to make sure that everything was sealed all the way. If you're using the hot glue, then you can turn it right away because it dries pretty much instantly.
Someone is asking what fabric are you using?
This is quilting cotton. Okay, so you're just gonna have to pull on these little straps. Do it kind of gently, but you will have to turn everything. And then when I'm at this point, I like to go over everything again and give it a good press just to make sure that all my seams are laying flat and that it looks nice. Sometimes it's a little bumpy when you turn it right side out. So you can kind of flatten it out with the iron. Okay, are there any questions I can answer as I'm pressing?
Have you tried this pattern with elastic instead of ties?
Oh yes, you can definitely use elastic. When you're using elastic, you have two different options. The elastic can go around your head like this, and a bottom one like this, or it can go around your ear. So that's up to you which one you find is more comfortable or which fits better. I find around my head is a little bit better because if you are wearing this for an extended amount of time, having it behind your ear can cause your ear to hurt a little bit. So just something to keep in mind.
How hot is your iron?
Hot. I don't know what the temperature is.
People want to know where you got the iron too.
The iron is from Joanne. It's called an Aliso Pro. It's a really great iron. Not really an everyday iron, but if you're really into sewing, it's awesome.
Did you say you'll have a child size?
There will be a child size. The pattern is being worked on right now, so I'm hoping it will be up tomorrow morning. But if you're following my Facebook, I will probably post it there first. So I would make sure you're following over there or even on Instagram. Okay, you'll notice I have this opening. Remember, this is the spot where I turned everything out. So I'm going to tuck my seam allowance in about 3/8 of an inch underneath. And then I'm just going to do a little line of fabric glue to close that opening up. Can everybody see this? So I like to just finger press it and then put a little bit of glue here.
You said you sew a tube for t-shirt bias tape?
You could definitely sew a tube. Yep, it just adds another step, but it would be more secure. You know, I always go back and forth with like making the tutorial easy enough that everyone can do it or doing it like the perfectionist way. So there's pros and cons to each way.
What age range will the child size be?
The child size would probably fit a toddler to maybe like a 12-year-old. After about 12, I'd probably recommend just putting the adult size on a child.
Should these have a filter?
You can definitely add a filter to this. If you want to decide on the type of filter, you can just do a Google search on what to put inside of your mask. The only thing I will say, if you're adding a filter, here's a couple of things. Here's my thoughts. It's fairly hard to breathe just through 2 layers of cotton. And my concern is you want to make sure that it's as wearable as possible. So that way, when you get into the grocery store or you're on your way to work, wherever it is that you're wearing it, I want you to actually wear it. If it's hard to breathe through, there's a possibility you're going to take it off. So keep that in mind. Whatever it is you choose to use as your filter, make sure that you can actually breathe through it. Okay, so I'm just still pressing this, just making everything nice and flat, but.
People want to know again what kind of fabrics you recommend.
Fabrics, again, recommendations are quilting cotton. If you need a link to that, it's in my tutorial. I think we've been dropping links to sweetredpoppy.com all night. So just look in the supplies and you can find what you need. So Carly, my sweet friend who's working on the pattern for us, said there might be a couple sizes. Okay, thank you, Carly. Everyone tell Carly thank you, because she's the one doing the hard work for us. She's been getting this pattern ready for us. She's so sweet. Okay, this is ready. So I'm gonna model it for you real quick. It should fit like this. It goes over your nose. The ties go up high. I like to put a ponytail in when I'm wearing this because it keeps it up nice and high. You're going to tie them nice and tight behind your head.
Did you use wire in this one?
This one does not have wire. No. If you want to put wire, I would recommend sewing it. And then this one ties tightly at the base of your neck.
And people want to know where this certain fabric is from because it's pretty.
It's from a craft store. I'm not sure. So this is what it looks like. It's contoured to fit around your nose and then to come down a little bit lower. It also fits around your chin. Are there any other questions I can answer?
She's not adding a wire right now.
I do not have a wire in this one. What it looks like with a wire, this one has a wire. So it just allows you to make it fit a little bit more to the bridge of your nose, which is nice because then you don't have anything coming in. And depending on the size of your nose, it's hard to make a face mask that fits every nose. So the wire does give you a little more flexibility with that to make sure it fits better. Let's see what other questions. Do you have instructions to sew a mask? Yes, if you want to sew a mask, I have 3 different patterns tutorials that are on sweetredpoppy.com. It's really easy. I have photo tutorials with step-by-step instructions. I also have 2 videos for each mask. So there's a long extended version, I think it's like 8 minutes, 10 minutes long, where I walk you through every single step, and it has side views and overhead views so you can see everything I do, and it's nice and speedy. Or I have a 3-minute video where there's no talking and it's just a basic overview.
Some people want to know if they can buy these from you.
You cannot buy them from me. I wish I had time to make a mask for everyone, but I don't. I'm doing my very best on my end to teach everyone how to make them so that you guys can make them for yourselves at home. Any other questions?
Can you leave the side open for a filter?
Can you leave the side open? Mm-hmm. Yep. You could leave an opening on the side if you add another piece of fabric. Totally up to you where you leave your opening. Someone said if you're out of fabric and elastic, she said, I told my daughter to check her closet for clothes to repurpose. That's a great idea. My grandma actually messaged me about a week ago and she said, if you don't have elastic, just go cut up your fitted bed sheet because you have fabric in your fitted bed sheet and you have elastic. And I thought that was genius. I was like, yes, Grandma, that is a great idea.
And someone says they could use ribbon instead of elastic.
Oh, Josh said, I also made a bias tape video on YouTube. Yes, if you want to do bias tape because it's pretty and it works really well, There's a bias tape video on YouTube to show you how to make it out of your own fabric. It's pretty easy, and I have a really neat construction method for it.
Can bonding tape work?
Bonding tape. Tell me the brand. Give me a little more detail.
And then can you use shoelaces?
You could use this shoelace. You totally could. Yep. Be creative with this. The biggest thing is just to make sure that your face is covered, that you're protecting yourself when you're out in public. The thing is, I think 1/3 of people are asymptomatic when they have the virus, and so it doesn't look like they're sick, and then they are spreading the virus. If we all wear a face mask when we're in public, even if we are asymptomatic and we don't think we have the virus, this can slow or stop the spread of the virus. So it's a good thing to keep in mind. Even if you don't think you're sick, still wear a face mask to protect yourself and to protect others.
What are options for filters?
Options for filters. This is not my favorite question because I'm not a medical expert, but what I will tell you I have seen being recommended. You can cut up a brand new, please use a brand new, HEPA vacuum filter. You can cut up an air conditioning filter. Please do your research before you do any of these and make a good decision on what you feel is best for you. I've also seen coffee filters being used as a filter, a dry wipe being used as a filter, interfacing that you use for sewing, like a non-woven one. I think that's about all that's coming to the top of my mind.
Can they find this video to watch it in full later?
Yes, you can find this video. I will be posting it on both YouTube and Facebook after we're done, so you can watch it after this. Okay, I think that sums up everything. If I didn't answer your question, I will jump on here in a little bit and I'll try to answer it. In the meantime, if you want to go make your own mask, head over to sweetredpoppy.com and you can find 3 different mask tutorials. There's sewing instructions for all of them, or you can do the glue no-sew version.
People are saying they're only seeing a sewing pattern, but that works for...
The sewing pattern is what you are going to download, yep. So you're using the sewing pattern, but you're not sewing it. But you still need this base, even if you're using fabric glue. Okay, thanks so much everyone for tuning in. We will see you. We might do another live tomorrow, so we'll see. Stay tuned.
How do you get off?